Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 81 of the Uncommon Commentators. Thank y'all so much for joining us. I'm the boy Antoine. This is my main man, Garrett. As always, we're breaking down some basketball on this podcast, how we always do. Fortunately, it's the off season. It's the dead part of the season, to be real. Not really much to talk about, but we still got some good topics for y'all today, as always. But I can't get to it before I ask my man Garrett how he's been. How's your week been, man? It's Thursday night, as we always clock these in. So, how's your week been so far? As we look forward to this weekend.
Yeah, man, everything is pretty chill. Summer league is over, so of course it's going to be quite boring at least until we get to media day. So I'm just trying to find other things to entertain myself up until then. But we have some cool stuff to talk about this evening. So it'll be a fun time. So can't complain.
I agree, man. Like, only thing really going on right now for real. Really just waiting for August 2nd, August 3rd. That's when like I know Luka Doncic can sign his extension that day. I believe Trey it's the same for Trey Young, our boy. So just hopefully, we get some good news that day. Really just waiting for the extension portion of the off seasons. Everyone's really gotten their role players for real, as we reacted to that the last episode. And the Hawks being one of the biggest winners of the off season. We definitely reacted to that. So y'all should definitely go check out our previous episode to get our reaction to all those big acquisitions like Damian going back to Portland, leaving Milwaukee, Denver, all their acquisitions too. And like we even discussed our seedings, but potential seedings for our way too early rankings. So definitely maxed out the most we can with what's happened over the offseason. So for our first topic tonight, I was just kind of thinking about discussing some of the future award winners for next year. We're gonna break it down through multiple episodes because we got to squeeze that orange. So we were gonna do three tonight, most definitely. And these three are, in my opinion, the most important awards always given out every season. So yeah, man, I guess I'll just go one at a time. I know you got your picks and stuff. So yeah, man, for the first award, I was gonna go with the most valuable player. Right now the reigning MVP is one Shea Gilgeous Alexander. He just averaged 32 points a game with like 5 rebounds and 6 assists this year while playing some lockdown defense as well. He led his team to a 68-14 record this year, atop a stacked Western Conference. So SGA set the bar pretty high going into next year. So who would you pick to be the MVP for the 2025-2026 NBA season based off the what they've done last season, I guess, in the roster they have right now?
Yeah, I gotta give it to my man Jokic. I think that especially with this offseason with the acquisitions that they made, bringing in Bruce Brown and trading for Cam Johnson and Tim Hardaway Jr. and other players. So I think that he's going to have a better season production wise. I think his numbers are going to be a lot better because you have better defense and also better playmaking as well. So you can expect some of his numbers to improve just a bit. I know that he's averaged a triple double this past season, but like I said, with better playmakers and better defenders around him, I think he's going to have a more efficient year.
Mhm.
And as I still say to this day, until he retires, I think Jokic is going to be in that MVP conversation. Now, he may have a few years before he starts to decline, but he's 29, 30 years old, so he still has a few years left. He's still in his prime, so at least for the next few years he's definitely going to be in the mix.
At
So
least four, at least 4 years.
yeah, at least four. So yeah, I think that with this upcoming season, like I said, with him having a better supporting cast, I think for sure, I think he's definitely going to be in the top two in finishing in the MVP voting. But yeah, I think Jokic is going to get it this time.
Mhm. Yeah, man. For me, it's crazy, man. It's kind of fucked because like with Nicole, it's kind of like what you said. Like for as long as he'll be in the league and in his prime, he'll forever be a candidate, and he'll forever be a triple double machine.
Yeah.
So I think at that point, the NBA is going to start to just move the goalposts a little bit instead of just letting the history be the history. They're going to be like, oh, okay, like Nikola just averaged, a triple double again. Like, so what? I think Russell did it for like 4 years. Russell Westbrook did average triple double. So of course, he did not have nowhere near the roster that Nikola Jokic has. Obviously, Nikola is also a better player than Russell Westbrook. You
Hmm.
could that even prime for prime. You could definitely say that for sure. Um, so with what's going on now, I was gonna say for me, man, I kind of think it might be SGA again, man. Like he's only 26 years old. He's only gonna improve. The numbers are only going to continue to increase. Of course, his role players, we'll get to his role players, his co-stars, his two all NBA teammates are only going to improve. With Jalen Williams and Chet Holmgren, we just saw all three of them get paid this offseason, one after the other. So they're gonna be lifted. So they're strapped in them seatbelts for the next half decade. So the league's definitely, at least the West, is in trouble to say the least. And I think SGA is only going to continue to improve. He hasn't even hit his prime yet. Like primes in the NBA don't really start till from my opinion, they're from like 28 to 32. Like that 4 year window when you're young enough to have had a lot of experience at that point, but you're still young enough to be considered young. A team could still build a team around you. So with SGA, like he just turned 26, so he'll turn 27 in the middle of next year. And I think they're only going to continue to get better. They didn't lose many of their role players. They still have Isaiah Hartenstein. Nikola Topic is healthy now. So they're getting deeper as well. They also drafted Thomas Sorber, who I don't think he played in the summer league, unfortunately, but I've been really high on him. Most definitely. I think it was the 16th pick in the draft. He's a steal, falling that far. So for me, I do think that SGA will win the MVP again, mainly based off like the team record. I think the Thunder are the best team in the West. I think I said on the breakdown prior to this last week's episode that I do have the Denver Nuggets as my 2 seed in the Western Conference. So they're gonna be neck and neck all year. I don't think either choice is bad. Absolutely not. Jokic could have literally won it
I
this
know that ain't who
year.
I think it is.
He could have literally won
I
it
know that
this
ain't who I
year.
think it is.
S-
I know that ain't who I
Oh
think it
shit.
now you're
is. I know that
good.
ain't who I think it is.
My bad. Forgot to take it off loop. Just a question for both of y'all. So of course you guys are picking the favorites. Because I think to me, those are the favorites to be in contention for MVP next year. So who do you think will be the dark horse? Who are a couple of dark horses for MVP?
Okay, bet. So if we're going dark horse, I'm gonna put them around the 4th seed, the 3rd seed, somewhere in their conference respectively. If it's gonna be a dark horse, I'll go Jalen Brunson in the Eastern Conference with the New York Knicks. I think he's going to be another like 28, 29 point per game scorer. Be the head of a snake that's already a super stacked team with Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns, um, and Josh Hart. Of course, he's a real popular player. He won Clutch Player of the Year this year. So if I had to say East Coast, I would go Jalen Brunson. I don't know if Donovan Mitchell may be on the Cavs, but if I had to say, I just think Jalen Brunson would have the recipe to win MVP, especially being in the market that he's in New York like that. But in the West, is a dark horse. Man, again, if it's like a 3rd seed, 4th seeded team, I'm gonna go with Luka Doncic. Most definitely. Even on a down year, he averaged like 28 points, 8 rebounds, and like 7 assists a game. So now that he's getting in shape, as we've seen throughout the offseason, he's in the best shape he's ever been in his entire career, even from his rookie year when he was super skinny coming out of Real Madrid. I would say Luka Doncic is my West Coast dark horse, and my East Coast dark horse, I think, is Jalen Brunson, most definitely. Of course, Trey Young could be up there for sure as well. He led the league in assists this year. It all depends on the Hawks. We gotta see. You can say that all you want. You feel me? You can say that all you want, but the only reason I'm even being skeptical of that is because we gotta see how these new teammates mesh together. Trey has put up numbers of averaging 29 points and 9 assists per game. It's just they were losing that season. You feel me? So if you can replicate a league, leading the league in assists again while also averaging like 24, 20, 23 points a game on a 3-4 seed Atlanta team.
But that's why I did that, because again, there's too much unknown with that team at the moment.
Okay.
Because of the pieces that are coming in.
That's fair. So like I'm gonna, my final answer is I'll stick with Jalen Brunson for the East Coast. And for the West, I will say Luka Doncic playing in Los Angeles, already being a super popular player. And they have a way better roster than they did last year. So Lakers, I'll say Luka and Jalen Brunson for me. You can go ahead, Garrett.
Yeah. I say for the Eastern Conference, I think because there are multiple players that could be a dark horse. There's too many good players, really. It could be Donovan Mitchell or Jalen Brunson, like you say. And Wiley did make a good point with the uncertainty of the acquisitions that the Hawks made. But if hypothetically, if everything turns well in best case scenario, I think Trey can be a dark horse. But I can't necessarily say he would be a legitimate dark horse candidate as of right now. But if I had to pick, I would say Donovan Mitchell, due to the fact that you're expecting Cleveland to be the number 1 seed in the East once more. And I think it's because since teams like Boston, they're going to be without Jason Tatum, and I'm not even saying Tyrese Halliburton would have been a MVP candidate, but just the fact that Indiana, they're going to be worse. So you're seeing some teams to digress this upcoming season. So you're expecting to see Cleveland getting a lot more attention. So that's why I say Donovan Mitchell will be a dark horse. And really, you can say the same thing for Luka Doncic as well. There's not really another candidate outside of SGA or Jokic that I could say that would be a better dark horse candidate than Luka, because Luka, he's always been a MVP caliber player pretty much throughout his entire career in the NBA. So while he's still playing, he's always going to be up there in conversation. So but with the Lakers, they're going to be a little bit worse, honestly, even though that they lost Dorian Finney-Smith. But and then yes, they added DeAndre Ayton, but he's a negative on the defensive end for me. And yeah, they added Marcus Smart as well, so they could be better than they were last year, but who knows, because the West has gotten a lot stronger, so we don't know where they're going to be at. But Luka, like I said, he's always been an MVP caliber player. So while he's still playing in NBA, and if he's playing at the level he's always been playing, then he's definitely gonna be up there. So yeah, I roll with that as well.
Let me ask you, and Wiley, feel free to chime in as well. Do you think it's a stretch to say Kevin Durant could be an MVP candidate at 36 years old on a high caliber Houston Rockets team? He just got done averaging like 27 points a game in Phoenix.
No, because I guess when you talk about, I guess when you use the word politics, in the NBA, to be in particular, if you're a top seed, then of course, whoever the best player is, they're going to be in that conversation as far as MVP. So we consider and say, okay, like we can. What's the best word I can say it? I guess dissect or kind of categorize or measure who's most likely going to be in a conversation and who's not. So the Rockets, they were the second best team in the West. So if you take last season, you had OKC, then you had Houston, then you had because no, Lakers were third, weren't they? So I know the Nuggets, they were top 4 seed.
Yep.
But basically what I'm saying, basically what I'm saying is this. I can't remember off the top of my head. But basically
No,
what I'm
you're
saying,
good.
yeah, but basically what I'm saying is this is that Houston, they're gonna be the second best team in the West behind. And really they could be the best team in the West, honestly. I don't see why they couldn't be the best team. So what I'm saying
I
is that
agree.
no, it wouldn't be surprising if Kevin Durant, because he already has an MVP award, and he's going to a team that's loaded, full of talent, and they are a championship contending team. So it wouldn't shock me if he's in a conversation, but it wouldn't shock me if he won the such an award either. But I
Right.
think the league maybe go towards again with SGA and Jokic just because of the fact that those guys are younger, they're still in their prime. Kevin Durant, he's still in his prime, but he's pushing of walking out the door.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like I said, I think that SGA, he's coming off of a championship, and Jokic, we know who he is as a player with his talent and with the supporting cast that uh Denver surrounded him, with him this off season. So I think the league, through a lens, are going to be paying attention more to that. But like I said, I mean, I think the award is there, for Kevin Durant as well. So if everything goes all right with them, and if they succeed, then yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all. So
Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, that's most valuable player. Moving on, of course. Moving on. Or less Wiley.
Damn.
Nah, feel free. No,
Damn.
no, no. You're good. You're good, homie. Feel free. Feel free. Please.
Nah,
Please
just
do.
of course Kevin Durant can be a candidate. He's the only player that I will give the outlier to as far as with him going to a new team, because
Yeah.
we know KD is just he's a bucket. So Houston they're using him for his veteran presence and to go get a bucket. Excuse me. For any any lack of consistency with any of the other players to be able to score consistently. So yeah, I can see Kevin Durant in MVP talks, and I won't even bat an eye about it. Again, it's fucking Kevin Durant. So
Mm-hmm.
and again, it's not just because I don't want to say it like just because it's Kevin Durant. It's just the fact that we know it. We know what he does when he's on the court. Like we
He's still
yeah,
know,
we
producing
know
at
what
a
he's capable
very
of.
high
Yeah,
level.
yeah, he can shoot from anywhere on the floor. Like he
yeah.
knows how to get to his spots. So, and I agree. I think that 1 through 3 spot in the West is going to be. I feel like
It's gonna be
that's
It's gonna
tough.
be
going to be
interchangeable.
it's going to be a round robin throughout the season. I feel like, and it just depends on who hits their stride as a team.
Right. And because, like, yo, KD literally just got done averaging 26.6 points per game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, shooting 53% from the field. He turns 37 before the season starts. So it's like, I just don't know. I mean, his longevity, especially after tearing his Achilles, is phenomenal. Like, he's been great. To be quite honest, it really shows you how good he'd still be, even if he would have never gotten injured like that. It does make me nervous, though. I do wonder when he is going to fall off. Not fall off. Kevin will never fall. He'll never average below like 15 points a game. Maybe not even 20, to be real. But I just wonder, like, is it going to happen at 38, 39? Like, how much can he still go? Because, like, KD doesn't rely too much on athleticism. He really likes to shoot jump shots more, pull up from anywhere, 3-point, mid range. He was extremely athletic. He could catch bodies and stuff like that. But you don't really see him drive the hole like that nowadays. You
Mm-hmm.
really just see him pull up like that, really try to utilize his size against mismatches, pulling up over dudes. He's already 7 foot tall. I remember when everyone thought most people always knew he was 7 foot, but on 2K he was listed at 6'9" and stuff like that. He was always 7 foot tall, which is pretty remarkable. As a small forward, of course. But moving on, of course, the defensive player of the year, the reigning DPOY, is Evan Mobley. He just got done averaging 18 points, 9.3 rebounds with half a block, 1.6 blocks per game, while shooting 55% from the field. Now, at 23 years old, it's when he just turned 24 actually. On June 19th. He's a Gemini, just like your boy. June 18th, 10 days after me. He's only gotten better since coming out of USC, and I'm really excited for his future. I'm not gonna lie, like I said, I think if we fast forward, he's 24 right now, so if we fast forward to the 2031 Cleveland Cavaliers, he is the head, like he's the head of the snake, he's the face of the franchise, he's all of those things. Well, Donovan Mitchell likely out the door. If not just in a way smaller role by then. So Evan Mobley, we're nowhere near the prime Mobley. So he could improve even more this year, come out, have a, double down and win Defensive Player of the Year again. But I do think the award might go to somebody else. For me, if he can stay healthy, like at least, like I think the benchmark's like 65 games, I think it's gonna be pretty hard to deny Victor Wembanyama of the San Antonio Spurs of the Defensive Player of the Year award. He was averaging like 4.5 blocks before he got hurt. Well, not hurt. It was like the blood clots, of course, in his shoulder that would end his season, unfortunately. I think the Spurs as a whole are going to take a massive leap. They got Dylan Harper in the draft this year. They got this new upgraded version of Stephon Castle, and they're getting Wembanyama back fresh off averaging 24 points, 11 rebounds, and almost 4 blocks a game. This dude's only 21 years old. Like, so it's pretty crazy. He's putting up these numbers. Like when we fast forward like when he's 27 and we look at his resume and stuff, we're gonna see that from literally day one, from his first year in the league, he was already a monster. He already lived up to the hype. It was just a matter of the Spurs winning games and things of that nature. So he only played 46 games, unfortunately, this year. So I think that number is definitely going to increase. It was a freak injury with the blood clots, unfortunately. And I think that this year he's going to make the All-Star team. I think the Spurs definitely rise to like the 6th seed or the 7th seed, most definitely. And I think we see him average like an astronomical like 4.5 blocks per game. There's no reason why he's unable to do that. He's not a one-dimensional defender. He's extremely quick. He can chase down blocks. He can run and stop shot opportunities at the free throw line, at the 3-point line, because he has like an 8-foot wingspan, which is absolutely insane. So I think he's only going to improve, most definitely. And yeah, I think everything's going to increase. His field goal percentage, his 3-point percentage. He was shooting 35% from 3 this year as well. So Wemby's only getting better, and I think the defensive side will always shine. I think he's better. He's really well rounded, of course, but I'll always like his defensive side of the game more than his offense. Of course, I love watching him play defense. So I was going to go with Victor Wembanyama to win the Defensive Player of the Year for the 2025-2026 NBA season.
Yeah, that's who I have as well. It's just it's really not a no-brainer because
Bro.
yes, we get it that he didn't finish this past season due to the blood clots and things of that nature, but the fact of the matter is just that before he was injured, 4 blocks per game. I mean, and we know that the Defensive Player of the Year award is typically goes to a big man anyways, and that's just something like I said, the word politics. That's just how it works.
You're killing me with that shit.
So it's just
it's true. It's true, bro.
It's the truth. It's the truth. So I mean, when you look at Rudy Gobert, just as a reference, he's a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. I think that's Wemby's ceiling, but honestly, I think that he could get more than that. Honestly,
Hell yeah.
maybe 5, maybe 6. Just depends on, of course, his longevity, and of course, his health will play a part of that. Honestly, if he didn't get injured this season, then he would have gotten that award. That there would have been no question. So technically, he would have had one now, and then And then, like I said, with him being 21 years old, I mean,
21.
he's just getting started. He just got here. So yeah, I think Wemby, he's always going to be the favorite. I just don't see, while he's still in the NBA, and like I said, if he's able to just continue to stay, if he continues to remain healthy, if he, stays that way and just continue to do what he does, improve and strengthen his body, then I really don't see any other player that could outperform Wemby on that kind of level. There's just no way because
Mm-mm.
we've seen tremendous defensive plays, especially I remember one game when they faced when San Antonio played against the Milwaukee Bucks, and he got that huge block on Giannis. And we know, Giannis is a freakish athlete, but then you see that happening with Wemby. That's just remarkable to see. But yeah, I think Wemby, he's going to be the defensive player of the year this season. Like I said, if he is capable of staying healthy, then yeah, he's going to be a multi defensive player of the year award.
Yeah, not hell yeah, man. I agree. There's not really much to say
Yeah.
on that. It's gonna be like that for the next decade. It's crazy to think this man's only 21 years old. Like the Spurs is such a lucky fucking franchise, man. Like to really hit on all these big men, even to hit on Manu Ginobili in the second round. Like it's ridiculous. Like they're GMs, they're scouts. It's just a real illustrious franchise. And the fact that they have another legendary, well, soon to be legendary big man. It's not a stretch. It's not a stretch to say this guy's gonna be a legend. Only like, motherfuckers moving the goalpost. Like it's really just trying to be too analytical. Or in my opinion, pretentious. To be quite honest, I don't think it's a stretch to say this guy's gonna be the face of the league. Once they built the team around him, and they're getting the number 2 pick, the number 3, like they got Carter Bryant as well. Do not forget about that. They're just gonna be so crazy.
Yeah, they're going to be a lot better defensively.
It's gonna be ridiculous, and then in their versatility, the bodies that they have. The point guard's gonna be 6'6", so it's just like in this team. They're gonna be those dudes. Like they're gonna be those dudes. So they're gonna take like how OKC is it right now. They're gonna catch up to them. It's gonna take a good like 3-4 years, but I can just see like the older Harper. I can see the Stephon Cat. Like I wonder how they're gonna play together. I do. Like I truly do wonder how they're gonna mesh with that. But I think they can. They're NBA players. They can figure it out most definitely. And man, it's just crazy to see how they're really about to really literally come back after watching them in high school, the San Antonio Spurs. So moving on to our last award of the first topic. I gotta remember what it was. It was the rookie of the year. Now, of course, some people are gonna say Cooper Flag. Most people will, most definitely, just given the caliber of his talent. But we do have to remember who he's playing alongside. I get it. Kyrie's gonna be out for like the majority of the year. I think Anthony's healthy from the abdominal injury. Klay Thompson will get his fair amount of shots, most definitely. And again, Kyrie's nursing that ACL injury. He's currently in rehab, so he might not even play next year. Kyrie Irving, he might literally come back near the end of the year. He's only 33 years old, so Kyrie still has time. He just got an extension. It's crazy. Kyrie's only 33. It's so crazy. And he just now suffered one of his most major injuries like that. I know he got injured on the playoff run and stuff like that. But ACL is extremely dangerous, especially at this stage in his career, being in the NBA over a decade. But I think Kyrie does play at the end of this year. So Cooper Flag will definitely get a lot of usage this year with Jason Kidd on the sideline. They upgraded their bench substantially, not bench, their coaching staff. Coach Sham God is on there now. I think Jared Dudley, they got Jared Dudley as well now too. So in fact, took that in a minute. But yeah, so I do think that Cooper has
wait a minute, didn't Jared Dudley go to Denver?
I think he might have. I know he just got.
Yeah, I think he went to Denver.
I know he just got a job once. Yeah, it was the Denver Nuggets. It's just the coach of Denver
that's
Nuggets.
what I figured.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's a top assistant. Yeah.
I appreciate you, Gary. Much appreciated.
Hmm.
Yeah, man. So they have a good coaching staff. They like really upgraded everything, but they're kind of like in a weird spot. Like, AD will be in and out of the lineup. Kyrie's gonna be out for most of the year. So Cooper definitely can come out here, average like 15 points, 7, 5, 6 rebounds a game, something like that. If I had to be firm with his numbers, I think he'll average like 15 points, 6 rebounds a game. Well, like, a block. I think he'll definitely average a block. I think he'll be a good defender out the gate just with his intangibles. Um, but for me personally, my pick for rookie of the year, I was gonna go with the number 3 overall pick. I was gonna go with VJ Edgecombe for the Philadelphia 76ers. I think he's gonna play really good. Most definitely. He looked great in the summer league. He didn't get to play like that, but the one game he did, he had 28 points, 10 rebounds, like 4 assists a game or something like that. He did play great. I loved him in Baylor. He's extremely athletic at 6'5". Is great two-way player himself. I just think with his thumb injury, he didn't get to really show what he was capable of to a lot of people who didn't get to see the summer league like that. So I thought that one performance in the California Classic sold me. Like how people saw Cooper drop the 31 points in the main summer league, and they thought that was a good performance. Of course, I just really, really enjoyed what I saw from VJ. I think he's gonna shine in his role with the Sixers, right beside Tyrese Maxey. Um, and I get it. A lot of people are going to pick Cooper. We can't forget how stacked this draft class is. Trey Johnson in Washington could come out here and average like literally 15, 16 points a game in a substantial 6-man role in his first year. So I think a lot of these rookies are going to shine most definitely. I just think VJ is going to translate damn near automatically. Maybe his jump shot might take a little bit, but he's already extremely athletic. He has a good build, and he's going to get burned. He's definitely going to play in the Sixers rotation for certain. And again, he looked great in the summer league. He didn't get to play like that, but the games that he did, he played awesome. And again, that 28 points and 10 rebounds performance was just like watching that was crazy. He shot like 13 of 27, so he shot good from the field as well. Like right under 50%. So I'm really excited for VJ Edgecombe with the Sixers. We saw Jerry McCain play great last year. So obviously, like, rookies have played good for them before. And I think VJ is going to be an even better player than Jerry McCain. So just to, not, being spiteful or nothing like that. I think Cooper's going to play good. I just think when his team gets fully healthy, a lot of his players are going to take up a lot of the usage versus VJ. Like PG, he's supposed to be healthy, but he's coming off a down year. He just averaged a career low 16 points per game. Joel Embiid, we know what's up with him and his injuries. He's for certain going to be in and out of the lineup, most definitely, with his knee problems. So it's going to be VJ and Maxey for the most part this year. Mainly Tyrese Maxey, of course, being already a solidified star. But I think with Joel out and PG, having to have his injuries here and there as well, I think VJ is going to get a lot of opportunity to shine this year. So I think VJ can steal that rookie of the year. If not VJ, it's probably going to be Cooper. But don't sleep on Trey Johnson either. I think he's going to be really good in Washington. But on paper, I was going to go with VJ Edgecombe. I've been really high on that man.
I guess we're just going to agree with everything for the rest of the night. Yeah, it's going to come down between Cooper Flag and VJ Edgecombe. I think that's what it's going to be. Not saying that other players are not going to, be a candidate because, like you say, it was a loaded draft class, so you can expect Trey
Absolutely.
Johnson and Ace Bailey to be in the mix too, as well as just more so who's going to have more of that advantage to win the award. Of course, with Cooper Flag, he's with a pretty stacked team or a really good solid team with with Kyrie, like you say, he's going to be out. Clay, AD, Derek Lively, and Daniel Gafford, and all those guys. So
For
they're
sure.
going to be more of a playoff team as opposed to the Sixers with you know Joel Embiid going to be dealing with injuries as always, and same thing for PG. They were a lottery team this past season, and so I'm not saying BJ Edgecombe doesn't elevate them in any given way, but he's going to have more of a runway of literally being maybe the third best player on that team due to the fact that you have other guys that are just not going to be there. So it literally could be, Tyrese Maxey, then BJ Edgecombe, and then Joel only due to the fact that he's probably not going to be playing that many games. So we don't know what kind of um, you know, production we're going to get out of Joel Embiid after every season. But I think that BJ Edgecombe, he will definitely be a top three player for that team. So, and he
Mhm.
showed a lot in the summer league too. So
Summer.
showed a lot of athleticism, explosiveness, and things of that nature. So he's definitely going to be up there. So I think again, politics. I think Cooper Flag is going to be up there number one, but I think BJ Escom, he's definitely going to be number two. And then, like I said, everybody else after that, it could be Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, Trey Johnson, so forth. So yeah, but I think that's what it's going to come down to as far as I guess who's going to have a bigger, I guess, showing, better performance throughout the season. So that's why I say I think due to political reasons, I think the award will go to Cooper Flag. But if not, then I think it'll be BJ Escom that'll get it.
Yeah, man. I'm agreeing again, man. I just think he's gonna shoot out of a fucking cannon when he hits the floor in the Wells Fargo Center. And I think the Sixers fans don't really know who they got. I think he's made for Philly too, with his personality and stuff like that. It's a real laid back dude. I don't think he's gonna really fold under the pressure. Of course, he's human at the end of the day. He's gonna feel it for sure. He's only 19 years old. But I think by 22, 23, the Sixers might have the best backcourt in the league, at least top 5 out of 30 teams. That's really good. Best believe it. And then, it's cool because at one point VJ will be the man of the team. Like it will be the VJ Edgecombe era. Because of what he's 19, Tyrese is already 24, I believe Maxi is. So yeah, man. So obviously, that 5 year age difference. Maxi, yep, he's 24. Most definitely 24 years old, born in the year 2000. So, that 5 year age difference will always be there. So even when Maxi's 30 and it's Maxi's team at that point, VJ will be right behind him at 25 years old. And we'll see what happens with Tyrese, but I think at a certain point they're gonna build the team around VJ. Obviously, I can't be like I can't be like VJ has more upside than because Tyrese went on to be a star player. He solidified. He won the most improved player. He was an all-star last year as well, the 2024 season. He just averaged 26 points a game with 6 assists. So he's definitely a proven player, Tyrese Maxey for certain. So like I said, I think they're going to have the best backcourt in the league for a pretty long time when they both hit their peaks. And especially Edgecombe. He's going to be a superstar, in my opinion. It's not a stretch to say that. And moving on to our next category, our next topic, I should say. Keeping it with the future, I wanted to predict some of the league leaders for next season. I feel like we might agree on some of these too. But yeah, man, it's just 4 categories this evening with the scoring, rebounding, the blocks, and the steals. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to you first, Garrett. Who do you have leading the league in scoring this year?
Well, this is going to be kind of a dark horse. Well, maybe not so more. Well, maybe not so much of a dark horse, but it's not really surprising. But um, I wouldn't be surprised if Giannis gets it, only because of the fact that we know the others with SGA and Jokic, and you can throw KD in there as well. Only reason why I say Giannis is because, well, 2 things. Well, let's say this here. Well, really, just one thing. Assuming that he does stay in Milwaukee. Now, I bet money that he doesn't, but if we're just going to roll with that for now and say, hey, if he happens to stay in Milwaukee, I think that he is going to have a much more offensive load or more responsibility this year due to the simple fact that they don't have Damian Lillard anymore to take off the pressure for him. And also their a less talented team. So they're going to rely on Giannis more to lead the team, and really on both ends of the floor, really, because he is your best offensive player and defensive player on the team. But that's why I say I think for Giannis, I'm expecting that he will average more points. He's still going to be, averaging in the low 30s, but I expect them to, I guess, have have the ball in his hands more often, and he's going to score more points. So that's why I think that he could get it, because they're going to rely on him more to lead the team. But then again, of course, you have SGA and Jokic and other guys that can come in and do the same thing with a more talented roster. So it's not really a guarantee that Giannis would get it just because he has less to work with. But I'm just saying that it's very possible that he could come in and average more points than everybody else, just the simple fact that he has some more, responsibilities and more on his plate. If Milwaukee's going to be, competitive in any shape or form. So that's what I got.
Mm-hmm. Nah, man, it's another great pick. I'm looking at the last season leaders right now. Giannis was right behind SGA with 30.4 points per game. So I mean, you got it right, man. Like he's definitely gonna be up there for certain. And that's another player who I'm kind of curious when he's gonna start to decline too, Giannis, because he does rely on his athleticism a lot to score. So I am curious when Giannis will start to deteriorate. I don't think anyone's gonna be able to really stop him getting to the rim. I think even at 34, 35, he'll still be able to get the buckets for sure. Just based off his body, his frame, and overall determination to score. I just think with Giannis, like, I'm just curious, like if we'll start to shoot threes more and stuff like that. But for me, um, hmm, it's hard, man. I was really thinking about who I think could lead the league in scoring this year. It would have to take a massive jump, man. Because SGA was leading, he was averaging 33 points per game. Um, shit, man.
It's definitely going to be close. So there's
It,
just too many players that you could say. So
like seriously, man. Like if I had to say one, I think he's gonna take an even higher leap. He's done it every year. He's been in the league, so I was gonna go with the Minnesota Timberwolves franchise player, the former number one overall pick of the 2020 NBA draft, Anthony Edwards from Atlanta, Georgia. I think he can lead the league in scoring this upcoming year. At 23 years old, he's only going to continue to get better. I think people don't talk about him being generational enough, like a generational talent. Anthony Edwards, he was the number one overall pick out of the pandemic, like I said, and he has panned out as such. He was a full on number one overall pick. It took him 3 years to make his first All Star team, but he was always a good player even before that. And I think even right now, the three-time All-Star, of course, he made it this year, representing the Timberwolves, of course. I do think he's gonna take the leap, most definitely. Like I said, he's only gotten better. So I'd be pretty surprised if next season he doesn't even take a bigger leap. Like he went from 19 points to 21 points to 24 to 26 to 28. So I think next season he could average like around 31 points per game. Like, I don't know if SGA is going to average that many again, seeing how his cohorts are getting better. And I think he'll naturally want to feed his teammates more. So, and teams are going to adjust, most definitely, not let it be that easy for them to get what they want, obviously, after becoming the champion. So, yeah, man, I do think that Anthony Edwards can lead the league in scoring this year. If not him, I might go SGA again, just because of how lethal he is. But I'm gonna go Anthony Edwards for my final answer. I do think like I said, he's improved every year he's been in the league, and we know how hungry he is, especially after losing in the playoffs, like how he did last year. Um, so I do think Anthony can lead the league in scoring. I can do the rebounding champion next since you went first last time. This one was definitely taking some thought for me because I feel like there's a lot of good rebounders in the league right now, and it's hard, man. Like, because like we even got like our own Jalen Johnson averages 10 rebounds per game at the power forward spot. But if I had to really like try to think, who might, because it's hard, man. Um, the league leader last year was Domantas Sabonis out of the Sacramento Kings. Right behind him, it was Karl Anthony Towns. Um, hmm. Honestly, man, I might go Cat. I might go Cat. He was already averaging 14 rebounds per game this year for the New York Knicks. And it's not 14, 13 rebounds, 24 points and 13 rebounds per game. Um, I think his scoring might dip a little bit and his rebounding might increase. I can see his scoring might dip, but he's always been a perennial, like, I mean, some people don't like to say throw superstar around like that nowadays. I think if you're averaging 24 points and 13 rebounds a game, I consider that superstar numbers for certain. I just think people have always been turned off by Carl's personality. But he's always been a superstar player. He's a number one overall pick himself. Cat's like a 5-time All-Star. So I think that he can lead the league in rebounding this year. He's always been a good rebounder, like damn near his entire career, to be quite honest. And at 29 years old, he's entering his prime. So I think the former Minnesota Timberwolf will lead the league in rebounding this year. He's always been a great player, like I said. So hopefully he can trade out some of that 3-point shooting for a little bit more rebounding this year, as I do think the Knicks actually need that more from him than they do 3-point shooting. So, yeah, man. So I was going to go with Cat to lead the league in rebounding this year with the New York Knicks. So who are you going to pick, Garrett?
Yeah, so I think Sabonis, he could turn around and do it again. And I think with Jokic, he's definitely going to be up there. And like I said, with him having such a better supporting cast than he had last season, then I think, like I said, Jokic, his performance is going to be more efficient. So, but one thing I will say is that, just to be direct, I'm going to go with Jokic this time. But
Okay.
if I had to give it like a dark horse or a player that I would like to see, would be Jalen Duren out of Detroit,
Okay.
because Jalen has always been, because he has the physical tools, he has the athleticism and all of that, to really be a high quality rebounder. And I always admired his game. And with Detroit, you're seeing what they're doing. They made the playoffs, this past season, and they went out and added more shooting with Karis LeVert and Duncan Robinson. So um, I'm just looking forward to that next leap of his. You're expecting their young guys to improve as well. So it's just seeing him take that next jump. So I'm hoping that he does. I'm not, like I said, I'm not expecting that he would lead the league in rebounding, because, like I said, you as long as you still have Jokic and, like you mentioned, Cat and Sabonis, those guys are definitely going to be in a top 3, top 4. But I'm just saying, he could prove me wrong. But I would say Jalen Duren, he would be a dark horse candidate that I would go with for this season.
Mhm. Okay. No, that's a great pick, man. Most definitely. And who are we gonna go with the block slate? I think we already actually kind of revealed that.
Pretty
We
much.
we can go ahead and get that out the
Oh,
way. Yeah.
yeah,
We both said Victor Wembanyama.
yeah. Mm.
So I'll go ahead and get to the last one. Who are you gonna go with to lead the league in steals this year,
Oh
Garrett?
man, you know who that is. We had to skip that one too, brother. Like, who that's gonna be.
What the fuck
You
they
know what that's
talking
gonna
about?
be. He's gonna be our guy Dyson Daniels. I will say I'm not sure if he's going to have the exact same performance this past season. I'm not sure if he is going to average 3 steals. He could, but I would expect them to average between those numbers, between 2 to 3 steals. He's still going to be the same defensive guy with his tremendous instincts, especially on the off ball defense, and I'm expecting him to, of course, improve his game all around. But like I said, he had a historic defensive season, and I don't have my notes to go over exactly what he did though. But like I said, he averaged 3 steals last season, and he was the player of the year runner up,
Yep.
and that's really a remarkable accolade for me, especially when you're a guard. 'Cause like I said previously, the defense player of the year award, that's typically a big man's award, and it's rare we've seen guards that have won such award. But like I said, with Dyson Daniels, he had a historic season just by the fact that he was leading the league in steals and first team all defense. So I think
Most improved
he'll turn
player.
around, and I think he'll turn around and lead the league in assists, not assists, steals, excuse me, again. But with the additions of Nikhil Alexander Walker and Kristaps Porzingis and other guys, he may not have to have as much of a load defensively as he had this past season. So that's why I say the numbers may drop, but regardless, he's still going to be one of the top defenders in this league. So that's not going to go away as long as he's healthy. And yeah, I think he'll average between 2 to 3 assists. So I think he'll do it again, just not at three steals.
No, for sure, man. He averaged like 6 rebounds and 4 assists a game.
Oh
This
yeah,
year, like
he's definitely one of the best rebounding guards, at
for
his
sure.
position too. So mhm.
Most definitely, yeah, man. I think he's only gonna improve. Dyson Daniels, like I'm really happy, man. They got these new players, man, because it shows like it's gonna make the new players want to stay too, man, because they see, oh, okay, we have a real. They want to feel
Mhm.
like a real team, man. I get it, you're paid and shit like that, but they want to like at the end of the season when you're losing, that shit sucks, man. When you're in the
Yep.
offseason and like you see the playoffs on, all these teams still going, that sucks, man. So
Mhm.
they still want to win, and if you win, that brings you more money. So you gotta
Yep.
win. You have to win, So I'm happy, man. Like it's gonna make them all want to stay, and like we gotta get Trace extension signed. Once that's signed and with Dyson signed, I literally need both. I can't have one without the other. Even if Trey signs, I'm still. It's not gonna be complete, bro, until Dyson signs that 4-year extension. So that's what I'm waiting on. And all these dudes are getting paid. So Jalen's already gotten paid. So that's all right. I can talk about the Hawks fucking all night. We're gonna talk about them a lot this season too. Just off them winning and shit, So I'm really excited about that, most definitely. But moving on to the last topic of the evening. It's my favorite topic, one of my most favorite discussions in all of basketball. Yeah, I just love it. I'm not Wiley. You already know you can come on camera for this one because you already know what game we're about to play. Um, as y'all know, I've always said, you feel me, that my favorite part of the NBA history, all those things is jersey retirements. You feel me? I've loved them since I was a child. I can remember the day that like the Hawks announced they were going to retire Pistol Pete's number 44. Because I always wondered why they never did it. And it's really cool because, then we had a legendary player like that, like walk through our halls and stuff like that. I like seeing the jerseys get immortalized, because people don't realize like the sport of basketball is literally never going to die. It's a global entity. Millions of people all around the world play. There's different leagues, not just the NBA, it's the NBL, the Euro League, the Euro Cup, everything, the FIBA. It's so much basketball. It's a sport, And like you have people The NBA is so popular, so it's such a conglomerate. You have people that come from overseas to the NBA because they want to play here. If a person leaves the NBA to go overseas, like I get it, Jonas Valanciunas damn near was about to leave the Nuggets to go play for the Falata. I don't want to butcher the name, but it's a team in Greece. I mean, Kendrick Nunn was just playing for them, won a championship for them, but it's like obviously you will see certain players leave and go to overseas because they want to, they feel like the juice isn't worth the squeeze, just trying to go through all this wear and tear, all this crazy competition for the millions. Like I get it, but we've had even legendary players from overseas come over here and get their jerseys retired, so people don't get like, when the jersey goes up there, it's going to stay up there forever. And I mentioned the game of basketball, it's never going to die. So when your jersey gets retired, you can go into the future 80 years from now, your jersey will still be hanging. Of course, unless you do something heinous post playing, in retirement or whatever, your jersey will literally forever be, you will die. Your jersey will still be up there hanging, not going anywhere. So it's always my favorite thing about basketball. I love jersey retirement. So yeah, man, I was gonna list off some players and just see how you felt about it, Garrett. Definitely give your opinion. It's about 6 players in total. So the boy Wiley can definitely give his opinion if he wants to. I was definitely want his input on this for certain. So yeah, Gary, so let's go ahead and get started. Because you don't know any of these players. Most definitely. So for the first one, I was going to go with Chris Paul of the New Orleans Hornets. Obviously, we just saw him go back to the LA Clippers, but we know Chris Paul was in New Orleans for a pretty substantial amount of time. He was their franchise player coming out of Wake Forest, panned out, was the rookie of the year back in 2006, was there from about 05 to 2011. About his second year, they really took off alongside David West. And really just a pretty good team, to be quite honest with you. I thought it was a pretty good roster with the young Chris Paul leading the team. Even back then, he was averaging, like he was an MVP candidate at one point in like the 2009 season. I think when LeBron won his first MVP, Chris Paul was right on his heels that year. So yeah, man, I just wanted your opinion on if you think Chris Paul should be deserving of a jersey retirement from the New Orleans Hornets, even before you say your answer. Just want to give a little bit more layer of context. Even while playing for the Hornets, he was there for 6 years. Like I said, he averaged 18 points and 10 assists a game in his time throughout his 6-year career with the Hornets. So was a multi-time All-Star for the Hornets, was their franchise player, made the All-Star team 4 times for New Orleans. So do you think with what he accomplished, obviously they didn't get, not much playoff success, stuff like that. It was a hard Western Conference, playing against, the Spurs and all that. Like they were like in the mid 2000s, the Spurs had the West in a chokehold. So in the Mavericks too, as well, they were really good during that time too. So do you think the New Orleans Pelicans, now the New Orleans Pelicans, would retire the number 3 jersey in the Hornets banner for Chris Paul?
I think that they could, but I think for me, just for Chris Paul, will he get a jersey retirement? I think he would. I just don't think it would be with New Orleans. I think it would be with the Clippers
Clippers.
if I had to say, because that's where he's had more success throughout his career. As you mentioned, they didn't have much playoff success during his time with the Pelicans in New Orleans, even though they were the Hornets back then when he was playing. But I just think that for Chris Paul, um, because I mean, it's like, okay, if we talk about Chris Paul, it's like, okay, when you say his name, what's the first team that comes to mind? Is it going to be the Hornets or is it going to be with the Clippers? So, and it doesn't have to be like anything recent. I mean, I'm not even talking about him playing for the Spurs or playing for the Thunder or the Suns. It's just more so of
I know that's
where
who I
did
think.
he where did he have the most success with any team. So I think that would be with the Clippers. So, and that's when he was, playing with the Blake Griffins and the DeAndre Jordans
JJ.
and the Jamal Crawfords, and list goes on. So, and now that you say it, but mm, it really does hurt because of the fact that, and I'm not trying to prolong
No,
this, but
please.
it
No,
really it, re-
please,
it really
please.
does it really does suck when we had the opportunity to get both Chris Paul and Dwight Howard at one point. It's just the fact of the matter is that if they didn't get, Doc Rivers as a head coach, then they would at least consider coming to Atlanta. It's just a fantasy that I had for a long time. But no, I think that just with Chris Paul, I think that he would more so get a jersey retirement with the Clippers, just for the fact that he's had more success with that team. But then again, with Chris Paul being one of the best players of all time, period. Like I said, it wouldn't be surprising if the Hornets, meaning the Pelicans, if they decide to retire his jersey. But I think that's kind of where most players get their jersey retirements from, based on the teams that they had most success with. Because, for instance, if we're talking about Kevin Durant, his jersey retirement is going to be with OKC, because that's where he made his name, and that's where he had more success. So I think that is just going to be based on that. So yeah, I think he'll get jersey retirement. It's just I don't think they will be with the Hornets, but it wouldn't be surprising.
And Wiley, before you go, I can't wait to hear it. I just want to give a little bit more context. So back in the year 2005, 06, Byron Scott was the head coach of the Hornets. They were 38-44 the first year, Chris Paul's rookie year. The next year, they were 39-43, still taking some time. The moment it hit 07-08, the Hornets won 56 games and had 26 losses. So that point guard came in and literally changed the roster. Like they finished first in the Southwest Division. And again, the same head coach, Byron Scott, of course. Great shooter in his day. And like I'm just thinking, like, man, he just completely changed. He made him a playoff team. Like they almost won 50 games the year after that. Like, and also I wanted to correct myself as well. I think it was the 08 season that he was an MVP candidate. He was averaging 11.6 points, 11.6 assists per game. While leading the Hornets, like 18 points per game he was averaging. He was like literally like, I think it says he was like number 2 for a point guard at that, Chris Paul. And it's crazy that he still never went on to win an MVP, even having his numbers. But I just wanted to give that little bit of context right there. Of course, he was an MVP candidate on the team at one point and all that. Just wanted to say how good he really was down there. Of course, like I said, the playoff success and stuff like that. So
Dog, we know how good CP3 was, man, or is. I don't want to say was because he's still playing, but
and please, Wiley, please.
CP3 should get 2 jerseys retired.
Hey,
I was going to say that too, but yeah, I'm just
and
saying that
it's just the fact that it's just the way that the whole New Orleans the whole New Orleans portion of this happened. Now, it's going to depend on who does it, who does the first retirement. His second retirement should come from the Clippers. But it's a toss up. Does OKC do it, or does New Orleans do it? And the reason being is we know, yes, he was with the New Orleans Hornets. They were sent to OKC because of Hurricane Katrina. And then, history has it, you keep a team in OKC, and then New Orleans goes back. New Orleans changes to the New Orleans Pelicans, and there you have it. So it depends on who's going to retire, who's going to do that first retirement. To be honest, I think OKC and hell, to be honest, he should get 3.
He played for Oklahoma. He was an all-star for the Thunder.
Well, no, fuck all that. I'm not talking about with him playing when he went to OKC. It's just more so the city of OKC should retire his jersey because of if if it wasn't for the Hornets coming to OKC, they wouldn't have a team.
Mm-hmm. And they
They were
started
the,
there. Yeah,
they
that
were
was his
the
rookie
test.
year.
They were the test dummy. Pretty much, they were the test dummies to see if a team would hold up in Oklahoma City. And so now that I've talked myself into it. Yeah, he should get 3 in New Orleans, in OKC, and in for the Clippers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see it, man. I can see it. Like, of course, for the Clippers, like, you know, that was his heyday. That was his prime. It was Lob City. He went over to LA. He was only 26 years old when he signed the contract. And after 6 years in LA, career averages of 19 points with 10 assists a game. He's also a great defender. Chris Paul led the league in steals 6 different occasions. So Chris Paul, you know, we all know how great of a player he is.
I also have other things about Chris Paul, but we're not gonna. I don't want.
Please,
we're
please
not
say
taking.
it.
Nope, we're not taking it there because it is not. It is nothing. It is nothing glowing of Chris Paul. So we're going to keep this positive.
Got you. Hey, whoa, God bless the man. He just went back to the Clippers. He's on a contender for his what is officially his last season. So I'm wishing him nothing but the best. I pray they can at least make a deep playoff run. It's gonna be heartbreaking to see Chris Paul retire without a championship. And yeah, man, moving on to the second player. I'm actually excited for this one. I was going to go with Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, the future Hall of Fame small forward, two-time Defensive Player of the Year, 2-time NBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP for 2 different franchises. He played for this. I was going to pitch the jersey retirement for the San Antonio Spurs, of course, from 2011 to 2018. He played for the franchise. Became like their franchise player once it hit like 2015. He was their guy. Was on a great run until he got, I think it was his Achilles. I know it was the Zaza Pachulia injury when he got hurt versus Golden State, and he was busting their asses in that game. That's when KD was there. He was still looking great in that game. So I was gonna go with the Spurs Kawhi. He played there for 7 years, and the Toronto Raptors Kawhi from 2018 to 2019. He only played there 1 year, but he averaged astronomical numbers like 27 points a game. Was their team leader, and of course was the head of the snake on a legendary Toronto Raptors championship team that defeated the Golden State Warriors back in 2019. So how do y'all feel about Kawhi Leonard getting 2, not 1, but 2 jersey retirements for first the Spurs and then second the Raptors? Wiley, you can go first. You're muted, Wiley.
I don't think he gets 2. Toronto's tricky because he only played 1 year.
Brought them a championship. It's
but
like,
again,
what more? Literally, what more could he have done?
Stay longer. Stay longer.
I mean, even if you would have, I mean, yo,
dude, you have. That's your only piece of history there. You had.
It was like a pit stop though. He didn't stay
right.
Longer,
that was a legit pit stop.
It was their first ever.
That's not really how. Like I didn't mean to cut you off, Wiley, but
no, you good.
Just to add context. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I'm just saying as far as how jersey retirements like work, as far as how they're judged, how they're decided by the organization, whether or not this player is if his number is worth retiring. So yeah, I'm not saying that he didn't.
Time out. Vince Carter just got his fucking jersey retired in Toronto. So why the fuck would them? Why the fuck would what's called get his damn jersey? No, hell no.
Yeah,
I'm glad you said something.
Like, okay,
I'm glad you
we're
spelled that out.
Yeah, because
you spelled that out, Garrett.
Yeah, because Vince Carter, he's been there. He played for Toronto for way longer than Kawhi.
Didn't have remote, so nowhere near the success.
I had his jersey retired.
He put Toronto on the map.
Yeah, so
he put Toronto on the map. When you think of Toronto, who do you think of? And it damn sure ain't.
You're not thinking of Kyle Lowry.
I mean, sure.
You're not thinking of Kyle Lowry. You're not thinking of DeMar DeRozan. It's Some people may say some people may say Tracy McGrady just a little bit, maybe Tracy McGrady, but nine times out of 10, 9 times out of 10 is Vince Carter now. Come on.
Yes, it's absolutely Vince Carter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I can see both of your points 100%. Like I said, those GMs, what would they rather take? Like, I mean, yeah, I get it. Like Vince obviously put the city on the map. He was a great player, he was a dunk contest, 8-time All-Star, Hall of Famer. They drafted him. I understand that. But who had more success during their tenure on the Toronto Raptors? Kawhi Leonard or Vince Carter? So answer the names. Kawhi Leonard
If you're
or
talking about
Vince Carter?
longevity, it's Vince Carter.
See, so
Oh
That's
my
just
here's
how
God.
here's what
that's just
I mean,
here
how
Vince. Okay,
it
all right.
works.
Vince
here
was on the team for how long?
here's what I've
Like,
noticed about Antoine. If you give them a championship, you automatically deserve to have your jersey retired. Regardless of, you could have been there for 3
okay,
months.
all
You could have
right.
been there for
Like
3
he's not a Hall
months.
of Fame player. Like he didn't win a Finals MVP of the
Well,
finals where they
yeah.
won their first.
Again, look at how long Vince stayed there. Again,
He was there for
when you
6 years.
mention
Kawhi did in
when
1 year
you
what Vince couldn't do in 6. And I get it. You can say supporting
the,
cast.
But
I
who?
get
But
it.
again
hmm
when you mention Toronto, whose name comes first?
Vince Carter for sure, man. He's
Exactly.
been a fucking legend.
Exactly.
I mean, we can play that game
that's
all
just
And
day.
that's case closed.
Oh no,
Like
that okay.
that's a
I
case
mean,
closed. I can give I give respect for Kawhi coming in
so you're
and
saying so you're saying
being
so you're saying 1 year of Kawhi Leonard being a Toronto Raptor because he won a championship in 1 year.
Finals
You're
MVP,
saying
all
you're saying
insane.
you're saying that outweighs everything that Vince Carter did for Toronto in his 6 years. That's what you're saying.
I mean, man,
I
like,
mean he said it with
is it?
SGA
I
and
mean, man,
KD.
okay, like, yo, all right,
I'm
fine.
just
I
that's
mean, like, yo, like,
clarification.
I mean, yo, we can be real about it. If these want to be sentimental, yeah, sure. Like, if you're a GM, what are you taking? Like a bunch of years where like you have like a superstar that's like having fun for the team and getting beat in the playoffs, or you want to win a championship for the franchise, be the
But I
last team
mean,
standing.
yeah, but I'm just saying like a
hmm
jersey retirement is based on like what you have done, for the team since you've been there. So
I get
it
it.
it, it goes like it's more what I'm saying is deeper than just winning a championship. Like if you take the
Right.
championship out, if you take the championship out,
Which is a
then that's
really
What
what
else
big
then,
thing.
what
then
else
that's what
Which
what
is a
then,
else
then
has
massive.
what else
exactly. So
outside of the championship, what else has Kawhi done for Toronto?
He was only
yeah,
there for 1 year. I mean, yo,
that's
he
Exactly.
was there for
That's
1
our
year, but he won
point.
a
That is
championship. He
that
literally
is
won a
our point.
but
championship.
but
Dude,
but what I'm saying is
I'm not giving you a fucking
so
jersey
okay,
retirement just
okay,
because you
That's
okay.
got
So you're
that's
for
Nate
for
Thurman.
one
Nate
year of
Thurman.
service.
The Cleveland Cavaliers retired Nate Thurman's jersey, number 42, in the Quicken Loans Arena right now. He played there for 1 season. All his years were in Golden State. He was in 1 year for Cleveland. They retired. They
What
didn't
did he
win no
do in
ring, no
Cleveland?
nothing.
okay.
But they
Wait,
had
wait, 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 wait. Let me ask you a question. Okay, what
yes,
is
sir.
the criteria of having a jersey retirement? Like what criteria you have to meet
Yeah,
Right.
in order for you to be eligible for a jersey retirement? Maybe that's what I'm not. Maybe that's not where I'm at.
No,
right.
Garrett. No, you're perfectly fine, man. I think it's like a mixture of things, man. Certain players have gotten retirements that I mean didn't do. I mean, yo, it's like Nick Collison. He was a role player his entire time, but he was there for a long time, and like they retired because they loved the guy, the franchise, they loved him. You feel me? Now there's some
Dude,
dudes
he
who,
produced.
Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley was in fucking Phoenix for like 4 years. They made the finals.
It's
He won an MVP, and that was it. Yeah, I mean, he had jersey retirement. I mean, he was in. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think you have to be a legendary player who walked through the halls and you had to have success. Now, I just said, players like Nick Collison, the franchise, long-standing role players, Udonis Haslam, players like that.
Those are
Bruce
legendary.
Bowen,
So those are
for the Spurs.
well, I mean,
so
Udonis Haslam. I
again
mean, he's
those
only
are
played for like one team. I
For
mean,
sure.
so
I
so
it
mean,
would
so
it
think
wouldn't be a surprise for
so
him.
Nick
think
Collison played
so
for the Thunder.
right.
Go ahead, Wiley.
Nick Collison got drafted there.
By the Thunder. I know.
Exactly. He was a Seattle Supersonic before.
Sonic, for sure.
Again, so those are the things that you have to take into consideration. Just because he was a role player doesn't mean that like that also goes into what they did within the city. Like
For sure.
it's a combination
Yeah, it's yeah.
of a lot of things. Like the city, The reason why Nick Collison got their jersey retired because the city love Nick Collison.
Love Nick Collison for sure, bro.
Not only just the organization, but the city. Like Toronto doesn't. They appreciate him for that.
I was gonna say, I promise you, they're forever grateful. I promise.
Well, yeah, they appreciate.
Grateful.
They appreciate him for the championship, but as soon as he left, they was like, "Fuck Kawhi Leonard."
I mean, what can you? I mean, for Kawhi. I mean, man. So I mean, what more could he have
like this
done?
right here.
He could have been there for 5 years.
It's like this right here. It's like this right here. Toronto, they could do that now. I'm not saying that you're wrong for thinking that way because they could, give him his just retirement. I'm just saying I'm just saying when you look at throughout the course of I'm just saying when you look at the course of history, right? Let's stick to the NBA. I'm just saying when you look at the course of history and how teams look at players of deciding if they meet the criteria or if they're worth eligible of getting a jersey retirement, I'm just saying that it goes down more than just how many rings, how many championships you brought to the city. Brought to the city. Yeah, right. we get that. That's helps their eligibility. I'm not saying that it's not, but I'm saying if you take that out, then it's like, okay, what else have you done for this team? What else have you done for this organization? One championship in one season. That's only going to take you so far.
I was going to ask, what more did he need to do to get a jersey retirement?
If he had stayed longer,
2-3 years,
gave more blood, sweat, and tears, like Vince Carter did for his 6 years there, then you have a much better debate. You would have a better rebuttal. But he literally got there for 1 year. And hold on. He only played there like half a season though, because he got traded at the trade deadline.
And you won a championship.
It's like, okay, you play like 42 games. No. Like, bro, you played like half a season, and you help him win a championship, and then you say that's.
But y'all gloss over
championship.
Because we look at more than just we look at more than just a championship.
The NBA season is literally built around winning the Larry O'Brien.
Bro, I literally about that. He got traded at the trade deadline. He only played half a season. Yes, he had to win a championship, but you're saying, so half a season, you win a championship, jersey retirement. There you go.
Finals MVP.
It's not like.
All right, so like if we look at it this way, like if we
actually no, I take that back. He didn't play half a season. I'm tripping. But one year. I don't think that really meets the criteria.
For sure, like I get it. I can go back and forth on this all night. Obviously he has to retire for the conversation to occur. I would not be surprised if they do it. The last thing I will say before we move on to the next player is that if we want to break it down like that, you feel me? Who is the greatest player to ever wear a Toronto Raptors jersey? The most accomplished, greatest player. If they play one-on-one. Did you say Vince?
The greatest Raptor ever is Vince Carter. Point blank, period. Don't at me. Argue with your mama.
So who's the better player, Vince Carter or Kawhi Leonard? Prime for prime.
In terms of what context? Like
this player in general, Like who's the better player? Who would you rather have at 20 years old? Who are you picking to build a team around?
Well,
I mean, it's Kawhi King Leonard, bro.
You can go with either one.
Niggas in the playoffs.
Hold up. When Vince Carter, I need to pull up Vince because Vince, we got there 98. We need to kind of straighten some things out. Also, Kawhi Leonard played 60 games for
I'm tripping. He didn't get traded on trade deadline. I'm tripping. Yeah, he got traded in the summer. But yeah.
So Vince Carter.
No, you're good.
But I mean, I guess they're a little
Vince
bit
Carter
in their own way though, because Vince Carter was there
for like 7 years
from 98. From
2004.
1998. So hard stop. Hard stop. How old were you in 98?
I wasn't born yet, man.
All right.
I was literally
So,
two. I was literally two.
all
two,
right.
two I was 2 years old.
So,
Me.
Fucking born yet.
so
I was 2 years old.
when it comes to Vince Carter was everything that Kawhi was as well. Except I will give Kawhi
Two-time defensive player of the year.
let me finish. From a defensive standpoint,
Yeah,
Kawhi holds it down. But
Yeah.
Vince wasn't
He
no
wasn't
slouch
a
on
freak.
defense either. So
Vince Carter was a
that's
freak
why I'm
for that
like-
league. Like he's one of the best dunkers in the league. Like he will get up and away. Like
right, and then his
Kawhi ain't
game
touching that.
also developed as he went along in Toronto before he left Toronto. That's why when you hear about that back and forth with him and AI in the playoffs, like that was must see TV. That was must see TV.
I just think Kawhi was the one that was like a championship
because
player.
You're
like
Kawhi, you got to see more
it with
of
the
Kawhi.
Spurs too at 22 years old.
You got to see Kawhi.
Yeah, but I mean that you can't really
compare it to Vince.
Yeah, you can't really equate to that either. I mean,
I'm just saying individual player. Even when he was in San Antonio by himself, he was still like he was that nigga, bro. Like he says because his injuries and shit. In the playoffs just now, in that Clippers Denver series that went 7 games, he just reminded people.
Yeah, and that was the other thing. Kawhi was injury prone with the
Kawhi. You know,
but when he's healthy,
that's like
that didn't happen until way later. That was like way later, bro.
No, that like you said, no, that started happening in San Antonio before he left San Antonio. After that championship, that's when he started getting dinged up, and so now, like I said, it's a toss up. For me, it's a toss up because being able to see them both play from the very beginning of their careers, like that shit's a toss up. If you're going to say who would you rather pick, it depends on how you want to structure your team. But you're going to get the production that you get out of each player. Like you can't necessarily lose. You can't lose with either or. It just depends on how you want your team structured.
I just think, like, man, like, I get it. Like, and it's not like Vince was not an 8-time All-Star. I just think that Kawhi can score while Vince cannot replicate any of the defensive plays, any of the defensive caliber that Kawhi Leonard does possess. Not even trying to put him at a major disadvantage because obviously Kawhi is a legendary defender, but Kawhi averaged 27 points a game. He averaged 26 points a game. He averaged 25 points a game. Like he can do that and lock up your best player.
Vince was averaging 25
and locking up
24
and giving up 27 too.
Don't do Vince like do not do Vince like that. Don't make it seem like Vince
was doing him like nothing.
Yeah, Vince
you just literally
he wasn't like
okay. Let's move on.
We go ahead and get to the second player, bro. For the next one, it was Karl Anthony Towns for the Minnesota Timberwolves. He played for the team from 2015 to 2024. He was there for 9 years. You feel me? They had deep playoff runs, made the Western Conference Finals at one point. He was a 5-time All-Star for the franchise. He definitely gave the Timberwolves a resurgence, most definitely in 2015 before, like after the Kevin Love era and all that. Like he definitely like helped bring the team back. And obviously Anthony Edwards took over the next level because he needed a co-star. You feel me? But Karl Anthony was most definitely a phenomenal player for the Minnesota Timberwolves, number 32 for the Timberwolves. Because if you're gonna be like Vince Carter, putting him on the map and stuff like that, because him not doing really anything for the franchise.
Timberwolves been on the map long before Karl Anthony Towns got there. Let's not do that. Let's not do that.
I
mean, been on the map. I mean, man, it's not like they were. It was. I mean, Kevin Love was there. They had a losing season and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, they had. I mean, come on now. They had great players before. He got there now.
I'm not saying he put them on the map, but I said he gave him a resurgence, most definitely, with the Timberwolves. Like when they, when they drafted him, he was like, during the 2016 season, they were awful. Like most definitely.
They
rebuilding, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, if they would give him a jersey retirement, mm,
They were
they
31
might.
and 51.
They would be thirsty. They would be thirsty. Team,
I mean,
they
they can
would be
keep
thirsty.
disrespecting, like, yo, okay, so it's Carl Anthony. Like, do you think he'll be at this pace? Do you think he'll be a future Hall of Famer, Carl Anthony Towns?
I mean, the way they give fucking Hall of Fame out, absolutely, he'll be a
Oh
Hall
my
of Famer.
I
God,
mean,
man. So okay,
well,
so he's not a five-time
yeah,
All-Star.
Because
but
we don't know what the fucking criteria is for the Hall of Fame. They give it to people who, hell, they've given it to people that we was like, word, he made the Hall of Fame, and then the people that you
Right.
think that should be in the Hall of Fame, you're like, yo, why is he not in the Hall of Fame? Because I think
Nah,
Muggsy
for
yeah,
Bogues should be in the Hall of Fame.
they might give it to him. They might.
I mean, man, like he's already a 5-time All-Star, 3-time All NBA, Rookie of the Year. Like I mean, in at 29,
I
what's he
think
gonna
just for
do?
that specific reason, like you say, with the resurgence, because yeah, Minnesota, they've been. Because I mean, when he got there, I mean, they've pretty much been a bad team
He made,
for quite
they
some
won. They
time.
won
I
47.
mean, honestly though, I mean, if we're gonna be honest though, I mean,
9 years of his career.
but I mean, my thing is this. I mean, I wouldn't say I wouldn't say he was the guy that like he was the resurgence because they didn't really start winning games. I think until like right before he had left. That's when they got and they got Rudy Gobert. Before then, I can't remember the first time or if they even have made it to the playoffs, before Rudy and got there. So I mean, it's like who
Right.
were the
His
Timberwolves while he was there? That I
other
just
coach.
that
Nah.
I can't remember.
I'm pulling up.
Um,
I'm trying to pull
they
up the
were
roster
they
now.
in 2016, 2017, they were 31 and 51. That was his sophomore year. He came in 2015. The next
Mhm.
year, they went 47 and 35. That was like his third year with Tom
Okay, so they went
Thibodeau.
to
Oh no,
that is right.
so
That is right. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
hold on. Yeah, Carl Anthony Towns was a
18,
rookie.
19.
So that was the year that KG came back. They had Zach LaVine. They had Kevin Martin, who was a shooter. They had Andre Miller, who was still doing this thing. They had Tajon Prince. So that team, yeah, that was more on the resurgence. That started a resurgence. That was just more so you got
He was the
veterans.
beating
You got
heart
veterans
of
to
the
help.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
You got veterans to
Mhm.
help them move along. But yeah, they didn't.
Like for a very long time, he just wasn't in the spotlight. Like he averaged 23 points and 11 rebounds. Like I mean, like it's for his career over there. I just don't
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not saying
I mean, I
that
get it. Like he
they
had
wouldn't. He could.
somebody had to do the work. That's just like Kevin Love when he was there. Somebody had to do the work.
for sure. I agree.
You can
I agree with that.
you can
Most
look
definitely.
good on a shit team. Because my
And
thing
we've seen what he's
is,
doing in New
if we
York.
want to do it, if we want to do a comparison, let's compare him and KG. So KG was dragging that team to the playoffs, and that was mostly on the organization because of that dumbass contract that they did with Joe Johnson that held them up for years, and they still were making it
Joe
to the
should get.
playoffs, making it
You
deep
want to talk
into the
about a player
playoffs.
that should get jersey retirement? ISO Joe all day. But
Oh
Hell
yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
Yo,
ISO Joe.
just wait, Gary. We're not
cause
done
I
with the
got my
list. Bro. I got like 4 more
I got my
players.
stats too. I'm still mad about that. I'm just like, man,
Look, we about an
come on
hour
now.
and a half in. Let's do some whatever you got left. Let's
Nah,
try and
most
make them.
definitely.
Let's try and do
Yeah,
some quick hits. But yeah, I'm with you with ISO Joe.
yeah, yeah.
So for the next one, and like yeah, I do think Cat should get one for the Timberwolves, most definitely. He's there for a real long time, and they like him as a franchise, most definitely. For the next one, I was gonna go with Al Horford and Paul Millsap for the Atlanta Hawks, number 15 and number 4. Al Horford was a 4-time All-Star with the Hawks. Was the number 3 overall pick in the draft out of Florida when they won 2 NCAA titles back to back. Panned out almost immediately for the Hawks. Was a 4-time All-Star for them, like I said, was their starting center. Paul Millsap was pretty good up in Utah. came down to Atlanta and rose to a new level. Absolutely. All 4 All-Star appearances of Paul Millsap's career were under the Atlanta Hawks banner. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Of course, they got swept by the Cavs, but they were pretty good the entire time they were together in the backcourt. The time they were playing together. So Paul Millsap, they won like 60 games at one point. So they definitely had an era here, especially Al Horford. He was here from like 2007, 2016. He was here for a very, very long time. And like I said, Paul Millsap was only here for like 4 years himself, but all 4 years he made the All-Star team, and the Hawks found new success after acquiring Paul Millsap at number 4 jersey, shit like that.
If I had to pick, if I had to pick as far as who would more likely get jersey retirement,
Horford
it
for
would
shit.
be
Horford.
Yeah,
Bro.
Horford's going to get his jersey retired, but I think it's going to be in Boston.
Yeah,
number 42.
I think it's going to be in Boston. That's just me. Atlanta.
I think they would do
get
it.
both. He should get both.
He should.
I
Like
mean,
Atlanta would do it.
He should get both, man. I mean, you talk about like a fan.
Paul Millsap, maybe.
I think Paul Millsap was great down here. Like I thought he was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, he
Or
did
maybe
his
hot.
thing. I mean, again, I'm just trying to think from. I'm trying to look at when's the last time the organization has retired somebody's jersey.
Man, since Neek.
Exactly.
And I wasn't even. I think
It was.
Neek. Yeah, Neek was still playing when I was born.
I think
but,
it was December.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. Like that's the other part. That's the other part I look at too.
When's the next player? I mean, like the next player that would get his jersey retirement would probably be Trey. And if they don't even retire Joe's, then
hell yeah, number 11.
Hold up, didn't they retire? Didn't they retire Vince jersey too? Even though
no,
they didn't. Okay,
nope.
No, who was it? It was Toronto. It was Toronto.
Toronto retired his. Yeah, Toronto. Retired his jersey, but I don't think nobody else.
And then the New Jersey Nets.
The New Jersey Nets. Yep.
Okay,
yeah, 2 of them.
And rightfully so.
Yeah, 2 of them.
But yeah, like I said, I think Al Horford gets Boston. I'm not sure with Atlanta.
He should get one in Atlanta too. But
if he goes in the Hall, please do.
Yeah, but real quick here, I just want to give my take on who should get their jersey retired. As I just said, Joe Johnson. So just to give a couple of rankings of where he sits with the Hawks of all time. So in points, he's ranked 7th. He scored a total of 10,606 points. In assists, he's ranked 7th as well at 2,653. 3-pointers made, 3rd, 908. He's a career average 20.9 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 5.2 assists. And also my personal favorite, he has a total of 8 game winners. Now, it wasn't a game winner, but my cousin, I think this was when I was a freshman in high school. I think this was during the 2011-2012 series. Well, not series, but year, or it may have been year after that. We played against the Clippers. It was a home game. It was in the 4th quarter. I think the Hawks were up, but one of the biggest shots I ever seen from Joe was he was like on the sideline, right in front of the Clippers bench. The shot clock was winding down. He had like, I think, 2 or 3 seconds on the shot clock. He literally like did a turnaround fadeaway jump shot by the sideline and banked the shot in. I had never seen nobody shoot a ball like that ever, but I can send y'all the clip later. But Joe, he has always been I think he's one of the clutchest, players, at least at his position of all time. It's kind of like, and it's not just with the Hawks. He's done it with many teams. He's done it with the Nets. He's done it with the Jazz and other teams. It's like, hey, if you need a guy that you need to, not just to get a bucket, if you need a guy that's going to, send the game to overtime or, even go for the game winner, you give it to Joe. You really ain't got to run no play for him. You just give him the ball, let him go to
Get out the
work,
way.
and just get out of the way. And he's still doing that to this day. I mean, the
The
man is
big
almost
three.
40, and he's still, he's still doing his thing, and he can still play in the NBA if he wants to. So, but yeah, it's disappointing that he hasn't got his jersey retired. I hope that he does eventually, but
Mhm.
they would definitely do my man wrong if they don't give it to him. He has to get it.
I got two players, Muggsy Bogues and Spud Webb. Muggsy Bogues at 5'3" played 14 years in the league.
Oh yeah.
Charlotte needs to retire his jersey if they have it, because I don't think they have. If they haven't, they need to.
Mhm.
And Atlanta needs to retire Muggsy Bogues. Like,
You Spud
I
Webb.
mean Spud Webb. Sorry,
So Webb,
Mhm.
both
slam dunk champion.
what? Yeah, slam dunk champion. But just the fact that being at their size and being able to maintain in the league, produce in the league, play.
That's a
I
good
need
point.
to look up Spud Webb real quick. Cause I need to see how
Yeah, I
long
think he
played.
was like 5. I think because I'm
Spud Webb was
5'6".
5'6". Yeah, Spud Webb was 5'6",
5'6".
and yep,
I thought he
Spud
was
Webb
like
was 5'6",
5'7", 5'8". Because I'm 5'6".
5'6", and Muggsy Bogues was 5'3", and
Good dunking at 5'6".
and both of them played over. And Spud Webb played 12 years. And
Oh, I could have sworn Spud Webb was
majority
like
of it
5'7",
was
5'8".
okay. So it was between Atlanta and Sacramento, and he had a very small stint in Minnesota. But still,
5'6", bro.
but both of them need to have their jersey retired by their respective teams. Like, why? What are we doing? Hell, and to be honest, I put them both in the Hall of Fame. That's just me. Again, at that size, to play for that amount of time that they played and be able to legit produce, like, yeah, what are we doing?
Nah, I get it. Like both gentlemen, like yeah, y'all had some great picks. Yeah, man, like all realistic, most definitely. I only had two more players. It was Chris Middleton for the Milwaukee Bucks. He played there from 2013 to 2025.
Oh no.
I mean, Chris Middleton, again, he played there for 12 years, was a 3-time All-Star, and won a championship.
And was always the backup.
I mean, so what? So what? Like fucking Joe Dumars didn't get a jersey. It's like, come on. Like, they won a championship.
I've never heard anything about Chris Middleton outside of just being that second guy.
And being a 3-time All-Star, like being an All-Star is really hard, man. Like eating on a team with Giannis. You're eating on a team with Giannis. Like that's hard to do, man. He was there for 12 years, bro. Come on, 12 years.
Let me spell it for
you.
You
Won a ring.
Oh, no.
That's crazy. I do think the Milwaukee Bucks will retire. Garrett, of course you can give your opinion on the retirement as well.
Yeah, man. I mean, Chris Middleton. Yeah, he was a really. Yeah. I mean, he was a good guy.
You can't say he was a role player. You can't say he was a role player.
I mean, he's been like that pretty much. I mean, I'm not saying he's a total role player. It's just, I mean, yeah, but like Wiley said, I mean, like outside of Giannis, was he really that guy?
He averaged 20 points a game on multiple occasions. Like, I mean, even
but what I'm saying was, but I mean, he wasn't like that kind of prolific scorer, throughout his career. That's what I'm saying. Even though he was there for like 12 years, he wasn't like that guy that was like, given that kind of production. I mean, that didn't happen until later on, I guess I think around the time Giannis got there. So like when Giannis got there, then that's when his game elevated even more. But like before then,
exactly.
he
I'm
wasn't.
looking at his stats now. Yeah, he was a middle of the road guy until Giannis got there. That's
when in Detroit. So what? I mean, like
he only played 1 year in Detroit and averaged 6 points. That was his rookie year. Cut it out.
Like, I mean, he developed on Milwaukee and improved and averaged.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like again, like you mentioned the 20 point averaging 20 points. Again, that didn't happen until Giannis got there because that freed him up. That freed him up to be able to
I
do
just
that.
think he
Other than
developed and became
other
a
than
better.
that, you're getting 12, 13, you got 18, then you drop to 14. Again, that's you start to see it when Giannis show up again, 20, 18, 20, 20, 20, then immediate 15, 15, 11. Like,
I mean, again, like during that time, he was a 3-time All-Star. It's not like he's just gonna average like not every person needs to average like 28 points a game. And I mean, just like be the lead that like the head of the snake. Like, come on, man. Like, see, like Bill Laimbeer got a fucking jersey for the Pistons. Obviously, he was a pillar of the team, most definitely. But it's not like Middleton was just like some run-of-the-mill dude.
But
and
again, like I said,
he was the second frame, he was the second best player.
I look at the organizations and how they do their jersey retirements. I don't think Chris Middleton is getting one. Now, Giannis, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah,
Giannis is going to get one.
That's no brainer.
Now, if Chris Middleton does get one, it's because
I mean, you're there for 12. You're there for almost.
If Chris Middleton does get one, it's going to be it will be because of Giannis, not because of Chris Middleton.
Yeah,
there for 12 years. Like, I mean, he averaged 17 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists a game for his career with the Bucks.
Okay, who's the last one that you have?
I got you. It was Anthony Davis for the Los Angeles Lakers and for the New Orleans Pelicans. Obviously, for the Lakers, they won a championship in 2020. He was still a star player for the majority of the.
It'll probably be for the Pelicans if AD's going to get a jersey retirement because
my bad. Hold on.
Yeah, I think Anthony Davis will get a jersey retirement with the Pelicans because I don't think he would get one with the Lakers. Just based on how things ended, between him and organization.
Sorry
I
if I'm lagging.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
He should get it with the Pelicans.
He should, yeah.
I don't see him getting one with the Lakers. Hell, especially with this new front office that they about to have. So yeah, I don't see it.
Damn.
Yep.
Our boy's having a little bit of technical difficulties right now, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm just making sure it wasn't me.
No.
Yeah.
So that's it for jersey retirements. I'm pretty sure Antoine, if I'm going to guess, Antoine will probably have him with the Pelicans and I don't know. At the rate that he's been going, hell, he'll probably give him with the Lakers.
He probably won't give it to both of them. So I mean, yeah.
Look, I know we hard as hell. Hey, I will. Yeah, I'm hard as hell when it comes to. I'm not just throwing. If I'm somebody's GM or in the front office, yeah, I'm not throwing your jersey up there just cause. That's just me.
It ain't no free handouts, man. So
nah.
Yes, you gotta work for it.
Absolutely. But we appreciate everybody pulling up and rocking with us tonight for tonight's episode. Of course, please like, share, subscribe, comment, go on YouTube, show us some love. Run those likes up on YouTube. Please comment, let us know. Hey, we want to hear your feedback, so please let us know how we're doing. Hell, interact with us. We want to be able to interact back. I will try and clip. I will try and start clipping some more. Your boy's been busy with a lot. So yeah, I know this last about month and a half, 2 months, I haven't put no clips out, but I will get back to it. But in the meantime, and in between time, Garrett, you got anything for the people?
No, thank you all for tuning in with us. It's always great for you guys to, know, be a part of the channel, hang out with us and then, just talk about sports. It's really fun. So, like I said, thank you all for your time and your support. And of course, we see you guys next time and we'll do it again.
Yes, sir. We'll holler at y'all next episode.
Man, what's up? They gave me my theme music.